Thank you all for being here. I want to talk today about something we don't often hear praised in a world that celebrates togetherness and unity. I want to talk about what it means to walk alone. Walking alone isn't about loneliness, it's about self-discovery and learning to trust your own voice. In a world that's constantly pushing us to connect, to socialize, to fit in, there's something quietly powerful about stepping away from the crowd and walking on our own path. It takes courage to stand apart, to rely solely on ourselves, and to face the silence that comes when no one else is around. But in that silence lies the chance to truly get to know who we are without the noise, the influence, or the expectations of others. When we walk alone, we're given space to hear our own thoughts and listen to our inner voice. It's a chance to reflect on what we truly believe, to understand what values matter to us, and to think deeply about the direction we want our lives to take. In moments of solitude, we can question ourselves honestly, am I doing this because it's truly my calling, or am I following someone else's dream? Walking alone pushes us to answer those questions, and it empowers us to live in alignment with what we find. Walking alone is also about learning to trust ourselves. There are times in life when no one can make a choice for us, times when we stand at a crossroads and the decision has to come from within. When we're constantly surrounded by others, we may start to rely on their approval, their perspectives, or their advice. But solitude teaches us to look inward and make decisions that are true to our own purpose, not just what makes others happy or comfortable. This trust in ourselves doesn't come overnight. It's built step by step through the choices we make when no one's watching, the goals we set when no one's around to cheer us on, and the challenges we overcome all on our own. Walking alone also brings clarity. When we're in a crowd, it's easy to get swept up in everyone else's direction, to start moving with the current instead of setting our own course. But when we walk alone, we're able to see things with fresh eyes, to feel the weight of our choices, and to understand the responsibility we carry for our own path. This clarity can be uncomfortable, even intimidating, because it shows us that no one else is accountable for our journey. But in that accountability lies our freedom. True strength is found when we're willing to stand alone, grounded in our values and purpose. This kind of strength doesn't come from approval, from applause, or from the reassurance of others. It's rooted in something far deeper, something that remains steady even when the world around us shifts. Standing alone means recognizing that our values and principles are worth holding on to, even if they aren't shared or understood by everyone else. It's a quiet, resilient strength that doesn't demand attention but commands respect. When we embrace independence, we make a decision to live according to our own convictions rather than what's popular or expected. This isn't easy in a world that's constantly broadcasting opinions, trends, and expectations. But true strength often means going against the tide, choosing the harder path, and holding fast to what we know in our hearts to be right. It means standing tall, even when others doubt, criticize, or question our choices. That's because true strength doesn't come from others' approval. It's built from our commitment to our own purpose, and it grows with every decision we make to honor that purpose. Independence also gives us the freedom to make mistakes, to take risks, and to learn from them. When we're willing to stand alone, we're not relying on others to validate our choices. We're free to explore, to make decisions that might seem unconventional, and to grow in ways that only come from experiencing the world for ourselves. Every step we take on our own adds to our understanding, builds our resilience, and shapes our identity. Through this process, we come to realize that our true strength isn't defined by never failing, it's defined by our willingness to keep moving forward, regardless of the setbacks, because we trust in our own capacity to overcome. Standing alone also requires courage, not only to face external challenges, but to confront the internal ones as well. Independence calls us to be honest with ourselves, to examine our beliefs, our motivations, and our actions. We're not hiding behind anyone else's expectations or excuses. This honesty allows us to build an unshakable foundation, a strength that's rooted in authenticity. When we are grounded in our purpose, we no longer feel the need to follow a crowd or seek approval from others. Instead, we become our own anchor, knowing that we're capable of standing firm regardless of what comes our way. Walking alone builds resilience, pushing us to keep going even when the path is difficult or unclear. Resilience is the strength to withstand hardship and adapt to challenges, and it's often forged in solitude. When we walk alone, we learn that the journey won't always be easy or straightforward. There will be obstacles that test our determination and moments that make us question our direction. But facing these struggles on our own teaches us to rely on our inner strength, to endure, and to press on even when the path ahead is shadowed by doubt. Walking alone allows us to face discomfort head-on. When there's no one to lean on or to guide us, we're forced to confront every challenge directly. We can't rely on someone else to make the decisions or to bear the weight of the journey. This experience sharpens our problem-solving skills, forces us to adapt, and teaches us to keep moving forward no matter what. We learn to handle setbacks with grace, to pick ourselves up after a fall, and to keep going even when it would be easier to turn back. Over time, this resilience becomes a core part of who we are, a strength that's been tested and proven through every solitary step. Walking alone also builds resilience by teaching us patience and persistence. Sometimes the path is unclear. We might not have a clear destination or a well-lit road. But in these moments, we learn to trust the journey, to move forward step by step, even without knowing exactly where it will lead. This patience isn't passive, it's an active choice to keep going, to keep believing, and to keep striving despite the unknown. We come to realize that resilience isn't about always having a clear vision or an easy way forward. It's about committing to the journey even when it's hard, because we trust in our ability to find our way. In walking alone, we also develop an inner strength that isn't dependent on outside encouragement. We learn to be our own motivator, our own support system, and our own source of hope. There are times in life when encouragement may be scarce, when others don't understand our journey or even doubt our capacity to succeed. But walking alone builds the resilience to keep moving, not because others believe in us, but because we believe in ourselves. This kind of strength cannot be taken away because it comes from within. Resilience, then, is the outcome of every challenge we face on our own. Each setback, each hardship, each uncertain step contributes to a reservoir of inner strength that we carry forward. Walking alone shows us that resilience is not simply about enduring, it's about choosing to rise after every fall, to persevere even when the way is hard, and to find strength in the journey itself. This resilience becomes our greatest ally, a silent reminder that we are capable, that we are strong, and that we can continue no matter how difficult the path may be. Sometimes walking alone inspires others when we choose to stand apart, to trust in our own direction, even when it's different from the rest. We demonstrate that it's okay to embrace independence and authenticity. Leading by example doesn't always require grand speeches or direct influence. Often, the most powerful message we can send is simply our willingness to live by our principles and pursue our path, regardless of whether anyone else is beside us. This quiet strength speaks volumes. It shows others that true leadership isn't about popularity or the size of our following. It's about integrity, courage, and the determination to be true to oneself. Walking alone sends a message that it's okay to break away from expectations and norms that don't resonate with us. Many people feel trapped by what they think they're supposed to do, or pressured to conform to a path that doesn't align with their passions and values. By choosing a different road, we're showing that there's more than one way to succeed, more than one path to fulfillment. In our solitude, we offer others the courage to listen to their own voices and consider what might be possible if they too were willing to step away from the crowd. There is an undeniable power in being unafraid to stand alone. It's a reminder that strength isn't measured by the number of people by our side, but by the resilience of our convictions. When others see us unyielding in the face of doubt or even criticism, it plants a seed of possibility within them. They begin to wonder if they too could find that kind of strength. They see that independence isn't something to fear, but something to embrace, a quality that can lead to fulfillment, growth, and self-discovery. Our example becomes a beacon of permission for others to explore their own unique paths and stand firm in their beliefs. By walking alone, we don't isolate ourselves from others. Rather, we invite others to join us on a journey of authenticity. We show that it's possible to pursue personal goals without sacrificing individuality. This act of courage has a ripple effect. People are inspired by what they see and feel empowered to examine their own lives, their choices, and their true desires. They realize that their path doesn't have to mirror anyone else's, that they have permission to step forward in a way that feels right for them. Ultimately, by being unafraid to stand apart, we create a culture of courage. We encourage those around us to ask important questions. What do I truly believe? What path will bring me purpose and fulfillment? Our example becomes a subtle yet powerful encouragement to break free from conformity and take control of their journey. Walking alone becomes an act of quiet leadership, a way of lifting others by demonstrating that they too have the strength to pursue a life that is genuinely theirs. When we walk alone, we're not just choosing independence, we're lighting a path for others to follow, inspiring them to stand strong, live authentically, and embrace their own unique journey. In closing, walking alone is not about isolation, it's about building a stronger connection with ourselves, standing firm in our values, and trusting in our own path. It's about resilience in the face of hardship, strength in our independence, and the quiet power of leading by example. When we choose to walk alone, we discover depths within ourselves that we may never have known. We build a foundation of courage that allows us to face any challenge, and we light the way for others to find the strength to do the same. Walking alone means finding our voice, our purpose, and the kind of strength that cannot be shaken. So let us embrace the journey, knowing that by standing true to who we are, we're not only shaping our own lives, we're inspiring others to boldly step into their own paths, to trust in their own resilience, and to live authentically. Thank you. So my message today is this: don't be afraid to walk alone. Don't fear the silence, the solitude, or the struggle. Embrace it. Because in those moments, you're becoming who you're meant to be. Thank you.